Yes, so Esther is going to be sharing with us on aligning your career with your life's purpose. Aligning your career with your life's purpose. I think when you walk in purpose and you're able to marry your career with the purpose that God has put in your hands, you're walking tornado because there's just absolutely nothing you can't do. I follow this woman on social media for a while. She's friends with one of my lovely friends who live in Manchester, by the way. I know she's somewhere on this Zoom call listening, and she's amazing. I've joined a lot of some of our webinars. I've joined some of our live sessions on Instagram, and she's a powerful woman, and I look forward to listening to you today. Esther is passionate about development and growth, and has paid and is still paying her dues as an employee with an American crypto organization that's Align. She's also the founder of 3 organizations here in the United Kingdom. She is multilingual and a passionate traveler, always looking for the best in people and likes to see the bright side of every situation. She has helped candidates identify their strengths, build confidence required to succeed in their career, understand career requirements to make informed decisions, create outstanding result-oriented CVs and professional profiles, as well as prepare them for interviews using a proven result-oriented methods, which is called PROMPT for short. If you want to check what Esther Aluko does online, you can check the link tree / Esther Aluko. And you can also follow Esther Aluko on Instagram and across our social media platforms. She's also on LinkedIn as well. And with Jesus Joy this afternoon, this afternoon, I think it's afternoon now in the States as well. I want us to welcome Esther Aluko as she shares with us aligning your career with your life purpose. I just want us to give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Ife. Really appreciate. Thank you so much. Great stuff. Good. Thank you. I was reading that when she shared the screen. I'm like, is that me? Thank you so, so much. And it's so amazing. Thank God for social media. You see, the people you get to know with through the power of social media is just amazing. I see a lot of faces and I'm like, I know her. But it's all thanks to social media. So it's just great. Thank you so much for the opportunity as well, Adiola. I really appreciate it. And everything that you've been doing, the platform itself, the organization. Amazing stuff. We need a lot of this. We need more of it. There is nothing like competition. Like the lady that spoke earlier said, there's nothing like competition. We need more of this because the more, the better, the merrier, like people say, isn't it? And the more we can connect and reach out to people, for women generally to know that we matter. Just like Nicole said something about a value. You're valuable. I want to use word for word as she said it because it was powerful. I felt that in the core bones of myself. And she said, you are valuable. Your existence is valuable. It's such a shame that there are still a few women out there that still don't know that. So we saying that, reiterating it and emphasizing it. Every opportunity we have is amazing because you never know who is listening somewhere that needs to just hear it, that needs to be reminded. Okay, so it's amazing. I'm glad. Thank you again for the opportunity. And I'll just go in so I don't take too much of your time. I'm a talkative in a good way, in a good sense, so I don't want to overdo it. Let's just jump into it. I will share my slides. Let's do this. Great. And let's start. Okay, good. We'll be talking about aligning your career to your life purpose. Now, before I go on, I know I've been introduced already, but just very briefly, I will say something about me because I believe it's always very important for you to introduce yourself right. Introduction is very important. You never know who is on the call, you see. About me, I think it's very important on this particular platform to emphasize and say the fact that I'm a child of God. Whenever I get the opportunity to speak anywhere, I always take the permission at the beginning of the call to say, or of the meeting or the speaking event to say, you would hear me use God oftentimes because he's had a lot of grace to my race in life. And it's very important for me to always talk about him because he's the author and finisher of everything. So I am a child of God. I love him so very much. I'm also a wife, so a loving, amazing husband, and a mom as well. Thank God. To all the mothers on the house, in the house, happy Mother's Day once again to you all. I know it's tomorrow in the UK. Yes, so happy Mother's Day to you all. And at least we are enjoying the joy of this month, which is the month for women. And just let's continue to celebrate ourselves because we are amazing people. I'm also an onboarding manager with a cryptocurrency organization. As a lady mentioned earlier, I'm a career and personal development coach. Now, the importance of that is that without your personal development being solid enough, there is no way you can actually be happy in your career. It's linked. Everything is linked together, which is one of the reasons why I coach, I preach, and I advocate for both career and personal development. And I'm also a serial entrepreneur. Now, we won't go into my entrepreneurial side of things, because you know what, I'm a lover of God, I love money, I love growth, I love success generally as well. So I won't go into all of that today, but just to give you an idea of who I am, because of whatever I'll be talking about today, sometimes it might sound like, oh yeah, she's got it easy, she has it easy and everything like that. But for you to know there are a lot of responsibilities. Women, we wear a lot of hats. And this is very important for you to see as well, how many hats I currently wear as a human being. And how we should not, we're currently reading a book in my personal development community. What's it called again? Women and Leadership, written by Ngozi and one other lady. And part of the things they emphasize in that book is we should stop making it look easy, because it's not easy. All the things that we do and we have to do, it's not easy, and we need to let it out there so people will know it's not because you have it easy. There is nothing like having it easy, but with tenacity, with intentionality, like Adiola said when she was talking, that those are the things that make all of this possible and make it happen for us in our life. As a career and personal development coach, I use proven result-oriented methods. Now, that is very important because I've used them for people. I've used them for family, friends, before I eventually turned it into a business. And now I've used it for hundreds of people to change their life from their career perspective, because once again, career is linked to everything you want to do in life, to help you build and accelerate your career and personal goals. So that is what I do in a nutshell. Okay, moving on now. Let's see. So, okay, what's going on with my slides? All right, good. Here is another one. Now, the Bible passage, we'll go back to that later. But I saw this particular quote and I thought it was very important. In a journey to success, tenacity of purpose is supreme. And if you're an African, I'm sure you know Aluko Dangote. Even you don't even have to be African to know Aluko Dangote. He's one of the wealthiest people in the world, isn't it? So at least he's out there. In the journey to success, tenacity of purpose is supreme, is very important. Yet again, the word purpose. And we're talking about realignment with your aligning your career with your purpose. So it's very, very important. And we all have it. If you look at the Bible passage before we go deeper into it in my other slides, even God has purpose for each and every one of us. And He works in our benefit, in our advantage, to make sure that we all fulfill our purpose. He does His part, and we're supposed to do our part as well. But we'll come back to that later. Now going into what we have to talk about today, aligning your career with your life purpose. Now, as a career coach, I have the opportunity to speak with a lot of people on a weekly basis, day in, day out, actually. And some of the questions I get, both as a coach or even within my personal development community, is that, what is career? What's the difference between a career and job? And what is purpose? How do I find it? So as soon as Adiola approached me for this, I thought, oh, fantastic, because sometimes for some of us, it's easier for us. We already know these things because we've already found it. But for a lot of people out there as well, they're still searching for it and they still don't even know the meaning. So I thought, let me start it from this perspective. So what is career? Career is an occupation undertaken for a significant period of a person's life and with opportunities for progress. That's a career. Career has to do with your determination, your dedication to it as well. You're committed to that particular field of expertise. That is your career. Now, a job is something you just get to put food on the table, for example. To put food on the table, maybe not to just eat McDonald's anymore, but to have the opportunity to go to some fancier restaurants. things like that. That is the difference between a job and a career. A career is something you're more dedicated, you're in line with, you want to do, and you're working towards improving and growing in that particular field. A career means you stay in the same type of work for a long period of time. Not that you're a nurse today and tomorrow you're a physician, you're whatever, maybe nurse is not a good example, but you're a cleaner today and tomorrow you're probably a gateman somewhere, and the other day you're a security officer and things like, you just get whatever comes to the table, whatever is available. Now, when I ask clients every now and again, I hear things like, I'm looking for work. Okay, so what kind of job are you looking for? I've been applying for everything. Now, that is impossible. You can't be applying for everything out there. Do you have skills for everything out there? I wish it was that easy. But it's not that easy, which is why it's very important for you to know what it is that you want in life for you to be able to move up in life as well. Okay, so a career can be one job or many jobs. You can work for one company or many companies. A career is something called a career path in some situations as well. You're working in line. It's a journey. You're working in line, going somewhere. You want to get to a destination somewhere. You're starting from a basic, what's it called? The junior role. You're moving into intermediate role, senior role, and you're leading in that particular field. So you've worked your way to, you've gone through it all. You've experienced it. You've been around. Okay, that is a career. What is your purpose? An intention or aim? See the word again, intention. Be intentional. What you're created for. Now, as women, one thing I've come to understand, now owning women organizations as well, and being given the opportunity to lead women from, for a couple of years now, and speaking to a lot of women over a period of time, I have come to understand that a lot of changes we have in life has to do with some of these very important periods. That's why I've written it down as what is purpose under it as well. Sense of purpose after becoming a wife. We find it sometimes. Some people will get married and that's when they start to find their sense of purpose. You start to see, oh, they notice now that I cook morning, afternoon, and night, I actually love cooking. I love people coming around, tasting my food and just giving me compliments about it. It doesn't take me anything. It comes natural to me. I can get into any kitchen, open any refrigerator and whip something up. And it's going to be the best thing anybody has ever eaten in their life. Now, sense of purpose after becoming a wife. Sense of purpose after becoming a mother. How many women do you know or you've heard started a business during maternity leave? A lot of them. How many? Either from the pregnancy stage, from the hormones changes, from everything that happens to our body, we start to have sense of purpose of, I want to put this out. I want to let people know. I want to let people know what happens to a woman. I want to teach those that have never been in my situation before so they know better. And some people they've had the opportunity to build multi-billionaire businesses from this sense of purpose that has come to life because of a journey, because of a particular situation in their journey in life. Sense of purpose after a heartbreak. How many women are now multimillionaires because they wrote a book about the guy that broke their heart, or they wrote a movie about the guy that broke their heart, or they're going around speaking about it as motivational speaking about a guy that broke their heart? It's amazing, isn't it? We were talking about it in my personal development community the other day about the fact that even though we talk about this equality, we talk about these things and men and everything, do we realize to some extent men are actually our muse? A lot of the things that they make happen, you hear about a woman beater and the woman eventually escaped, she survived, and now she's a motivational speaker. Now she's an author. Now she's a leader. Now she has started one organization. She started a foundation. Sense of purpose after an outbreak. Sense of purpose after a disappointment or a shame. You should go on Instagram and just scroll around, just shop around and see a lot of the businesses owned by women. There is a story behind it, behind their vision, behind their purpose, behind their passion. There is always a story. Those are examples. When you're talking about what is purpose, there's always something behind it. It doesn't just happen. It's not accidentally, it's by design as well. Something has got to happen. Something has got to happen. Now, when we talk about life purpose, your life purpose consists of the central motivating aims of your life. Now, a woman has baby through cesarean, and before you know it, the next thing is she's starting, a fan club for, women with cesarean, that we are women as well. We are mothers. Because the baby did not come out of my vajayjay doesn't mean I am not a mother. Things like that. The reasons you get up in the morning, the reasons that guide life decisions you make. That's what we mean by purpose. The reason that influences your behavior and shape your goals. We've had the two ladies that have spoken already talk about goals here today, so I'm not going to go into it. The reasons behind your sense of direction, and that helps you create meaning of your, and that helps you create the meaning of your existence. I hope we're getting along. Career, we've talked about career, now we're talking about the life purpose, the purpose and what gets us there, and how it's linked up, how you can align both together. The reason behind your sense of direction, and that helps create meaning of your existence. Now, what is my life purpose? Now, let's talk about the book of Psalm 57, verse 2. It says, I cry out to God Most High, to God who fulfills his purpose for me, to God who fulfills his purpose for me. You are a human being. You created by God. You're on this planet Earth. Now, I don't know how it works in Mars or Jupiter. I don't know how it works here. But on this planet Earth, if you're here, you may not have identified it yet, but you have a purpose. You have a purpose. This is key in understanding God's purpose for your life. Now, there is the ask and it shall be given, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be opened unto you. Are you asking? Have you asked to get the idea, to know what it is? Are you thinking inwards? Are you taking a retrospective of your life to see, that Tunji, that Tade, that Amos, that Joseph, that Simon, who broke your heart at some point or the other, maybe because they were whatever? Could that be aligned with your purpose and what you maybe need to be focusing on as a part for your career? Is it something you're passionate about? Because whoever you've told about that story and how you've handled yourself in the surviving moment of that period, it helped them change their life, but you're still there and you're saying you don't know your purpose. And yet, lady 1, lady 2, lady 3, lady 4, and 5, I've told you several times, you've changed my life. That story changed my life. But yet you're still on the road of, I've not found my purpose yet. God has numbered your days and will fulfill every purpose he has for you. Now, you like it or not. I think it was Ife or Adiola that said earlier about the fact that we want to die empty. Don't take anything with you. I am so young that it scares me when I sit down sometimes and I think, you know what? If I actually live today, I am happy. With the little I have done, I still want to do more. But with the little I have done, I can imagine what people would say during my burial ceremony. I can already imagine it. I can imagine how people will take trains and fly down to come, even though they're not visiting me right now, but they're calling me a lot. And then joining my Zoom calls, I can already imagine. And that's it. That's all that matters. And I want to continue to do that so I can sleep at night, help impact lives and help them change whatever difficulties that they're currently facing through the career, through the development generally. Sorry, I'm just blocking my own screen here. Identifying your life purpose. Note, people don't wake up one day. Now, we've been talking about it and it sounds easy, isn't it? But people don't wake up one day and have a eureka moment and suddenly know what their purpose is in life. No, it doesn't happen like that, sisters. I'm in my 30s. It took me a while to also understand it. Even though at 13, if you remember, if you're Nigerian, I'm Nigerian by birth. And I had the opportunity to do my high school in Nigeria. I finished high school at a very tender age of 13. One of those families where you've just got to start early and finish early. It doesn't work here in the Western world, but it does happen in Nigeria. So when I was in high school, one of the things I used to read, I'm a book lover. I actually have a book club. I'm a book lover. I love to read books because it fuels my personal development well. And the type of books I was reading back then, if you remember Mills and Booms, if you remember Int magazine, remember Int magazines. Yes. Into magazines, aviation magazines, those were the things I was reading. And I would read about sex at the age of 13, 12, 13, SS2, SS3. I would read about sex and I would tell it to my classmates like I was already active. You would never believe I wasn't active in it. The way I will talk about it, because I informed myself, I blessed my intellect, obviously with the wrong things at the time. Hopefully it's helping me now that I'm married, been married for 10 years now, hopefully it's helping me now. But back then, those are the things that I was filling my mind with and I'm able to talk about it. But then I tell my classmates and they feel like, oh, they know more about sex now as well. And then I moved on from that. Everybody that had a chat with me, any difficulty, even at my early teens and late teens, and I just give an advice to, it always helped them. Magically, the life has changed. Magically, they applied it. Magically, they implemented it, and things are falling in place for them. And before I even started using the word, I'm a career coach or personal development coach, CVs, interview, professional profiles, going for a job, applying for a job, I was the go-to person for friends, for family. I was the what should I say during the interview? What should I do during the interview? How do I go about this? How do I find this? And I would say whatever comes to mind. But whatever I say, it did not come to mind. It was because I fueled my personal development well with the information in order to be able to give it back out to them. So at the time, it felt like I was actually learning to purposefully help other people out there, because it's what you have and have you ever heard the saying, if you don't have it, you can't give it. If you don't have it, you can't give it. Finding your purpose is a journey. It's your whole life. It's your whole life. Doing things and taking action is very important. The book I was telling you about that we're currently reading in my book club, Women and Leadership, that particular book. Now, there is something I've been getting from it. We're still reading it, but it's track record. Whatever, career alignment, business alignment, vision alignment, development, whatever you want to do, you need a track record. You want to build confidence, you need a track record. You've got to do for you to know, oh, I can actually do that. If you've never made chicken fried rice before, you don't know if you can make it until you make it. Before you know, oh, can I make it or not? Whatever it is, you need a track record for you to continue to do it well and believe you can do it. If you don't have an example to back on, there is no way you get the confidence to actually, so you've got to start. You've got to do. You've got to do. Do something new as well. You're looking for your purpose, isn't it? Whatever you've been doing now, maybe in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s, 70s, whatever it is, if you've continued to do it, the same thing all over, doing the same thing and nothing has changed, why you keep doing it? Why not try something else? You've always gone through street A, and street A keeps landing you where you don't want to. Why not try B? Why not try C? Do something new and see. Will that work? Will that lead me closer to my purpose? Will it get me closer to the place I intend to go to? Just to make sure I'm not missing anything important here, just checking the chat as well as I do that. Okay. Align your career to your purpose. Now to the deal why we are here today. So I saw this particular path online, this example online when I was preparing, and it says, I personally have a very simple purpose in life. That person said, I personally have a very simple purpose in life, and it has got nothing to do with my work. That's not to say that I hate my work. I just don't regard it as something I am passionate about. Now, why should we not be passionate about our job? I did not really introduce myself well. Now, what I do for a living, I'm a compliance lead. And I started as an analyst in that role. And being an analyst in that particular career path makes me feel like an undercover FBI agent. What we do in the industry where I work is we mitigate money laundering, terrorist financing, and human trafficking. I love it so much. I've not only grown from being an analyst, from being an intermediate analyst, I became a senior analyst, I became a subject matter expert, and I started to lead teams, and now I manage departments. within the industry. I worked my way to the top. And obviously, you got to work your way to the top if you want more, if you want to earn more anyways. So I have worked my way to the top in that industry, and I love it so much. I not only do that, I actually provide the opportunity for other people to join the industry. And in the past couple of years, I have brought more than 50 new analysts into the industry through training them to become an analyst in the field where I currently am in. You see, passion, I love it. And teaching, right? You see, everything I've been talking about, and during the introduction, they talked about the things I have done, the things I am doing, and what I am. And I also gave you a brief introduction about myself. Now, that has showed you I'm an international speaker as well. I'm an international speaker. I'm an onboarding manager, and I am a career and personal development coach. What does that say? A speaker, you teach your impact in life. Onboarding manager, every day I am impacting the lives of those that report to me directly or indirectly. I pride myself in leading as a fair but also firm leader. You learn. You like it or not, you're going to learn. And if you're not interested, you leave. Because you would know by the time you're under me, there are some things you need to meet up to. You've got to do it right. What is what doing at all is what doing properly. And then career and personal development coach. You see, everything about my journey and everything I get myself involved. And should I even talk about the home life? As a mother, you're coaching 24/7. As a wife, you're coaching the old man, the man you're married to. Everything impacting lives one way or the other. See how my life linked my purpose, my life purpose, and my career. And what that does for you is actually it makes things easier for you. When it aligns, your career aligns with your purpose, it makes things easier. And you might be wondering right now, how does it make things easier for me? How? You're doing the same thing repetitive over and over again anyways. As a speaker, I'm teaching and impacting life. Examples that I've given today, the fact that I'm joining this program, the things I've learned on this program, I'm going to go and teach it at work. It's the same thing. I'm going to use the examples. I'm going to use the quotes. I will teach it at work. And when I'm teaching my clients as well, I will use it as well. You see how easy it is. So sometimes some materials I don't even need to replicate. Some materials are as a result of programs, speaking events like this. And just like that, I'm coaching it all over again. It's easier. If it had taken me an hour to put these slides together, the next time I'm going to be talking about it, maybe not at a speaking event, but to my clients, I would only adjust something within it, just here and there, 15 minutes, and I'm done. You see how your life becomes easier. It's like a copy paste. When your purpose aligns with your career, when your career aligns with your purpose, it comes natural to you. Nicole said earlier, I don't have slides. And yet she delivered outstanding message to us all. That's when you know things come natural to you. It's easier for you. I give example of the lady that wherever she goes to, she enters the kitchen and you're talking about the fact that you don't have food in the house. Whatever she whips up, it will be the best thing you've ever had in your life. My purpose. Now, I'm expecting a question later on. Does it mean your purpose will never change? Oh, Lord, with the kind of things that happen to us women, with the life-changing things that happen, every woman is expected to get married and have children. Every woman is expected to even marry. Whereas there's some people that are not married, it doesn't deduct anything from their life. It doesn't make them less of a woman. It's just not happened for them, or it's something that they just don't wish for it to happen for them. It doesn't make them less of a woman. All of those things add up. And you know the kind of the social environmental stigma that comes with that and how everybody will look at you and things like, or the women that actually get married and decide they won't have kids. I met one years ago, and at the time, I think I was in my early 20s. And I thought, oh, How are you a woman, you get married and you don't want to have children? Now that I am having children, I know why. If I have the options, now I know why. It doesn't make them less of a woman. It's just their own choice. So with all the moments and the things that happen in our lives, of the stories you have, the things that come natural to you, have you really checked it? Is that God's purpose for you? Could that be your life purpose? Could that be what you should be doing? When you don't have to work too hard for it. You don't have to sweat too hard for it. It comes natural to you. And if you've obviously not found it yet, your purpose yet, and you still, I've been checking everything. I've tried this, I've tried that. I don't think it's working. It's not what it should be for me. Have you sought help? Have you looked for a coach to help you? We can't do it alone. We cannot do it alone. Continuously fuel my personal development well, so I have things to fill the lives of others with. It's a life goal for me. It's a life goal. I work on reading more than 40 books every year. The goal is to get to 60. It's just there's something about being a mother that just makes the brain muscles very, very strong. Not to listen the list, isn't it? For each book I open, each podcast I listen to, each videos I watch, God bless YouTubers, each movie I watch, each documentary I watch, I learn from it. When I walk through, when I go on a nature walk, even trees will speak to you. Now you're talking about purpose. We talk about downloads. It's grace being added to your race. Grace added to your race. Aligning your career and purpose. Stay in your current job and make small changes in your mindset, behavior, relationships that lead to a higher sense of meaning and purpose. Change yourself. Nicole said earlier about mindset. Mindset is very important with whatever it is you want to do. Now you can't go around looking for your purpose, trying to identify your purpose with a negative mindset. But the thing is, which is another subject entirely, how do you fill your mind with positivity? Despite all the bad things and negative things happening in the world and the challenges we face as women. How? That's another topic for another day. But stay in your current job if you want to stay there. I'm not saying resign tomorrow morning or on Monday morning and stop that job because it does not align with your purpose. That's not what I'm saying. But if you want to stay in your current job, you can make small changes in your mindset, behavior, relationships that lead to a higher sense of meaning and purpose. Find a similar role in a new company or industry that's more aligned with your sense of purpose. Change your company or field if it doesn't work there. In my early 20s, I had the opportunity to be a manager. Actually, at 21. At 21, I was given the opportunity to be a manager. And I had the mindset that you need to be older to be a manager. And that mindset took me out of that job. I lost it within 3 months because my mindset was, you have to be older to be a manager. Now I know better. Find a similar role, find a new and different kind of role, more aligned with your strengths. In the same company or a company in a similar field, change your role. You talk a lot. You're another Esther. I said at the beginning, I'm a talkative for good, for good, isn't it? You talk a lot, but your current role is a loner role. You got to work by yourself. There is no presentation. There is no putting yourself out there. There is nobody hearing you speak. Are you happy? You can't be happy because it is not you. You won't be happy. Find a new and different kind of job, more aligned with your strengths. Now, for my clients that are always looking for a new career path or trying to identify their career for themselves, and they're still looking for it, I'm a graduate of and forget about academic achievements. Now, when it comes to academic achievements, you know what? We don't even want to go into it. I've got 2 degrees, a master's degree, and several certifications. It's not about the academic achievements. It's not it. But find something that actually really aligns, that gives you peace from within. Wake up on Monday morning and you actually want to go to work. Or you can start your own business in addition to your job or as a full-time project. You can do that as well for yourself. Self-reflect. What are your strengths? What do people think about you? What comes natural to you? I talked about that already. And self-reflect, Nicole touched upon this actually. Write it down. Your professional purpose statements. If you've read the book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I started reading that book 4 years ago. It's my 4th year in running. Every year I start my year with 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Begin with the end in mind. You've got to be clear. No vague goals. No vague goals. Be clear about whatever it is that you're putting together for yourself. Aligning your career to your life purpose. Now, whoever you are on this call, wherever you're from, whatever you look like, you can absolutely find a job that's in alignment with your purpose, and you deserve to. You deserve to. Thank you so very much for your time, ladies. I really appreciate the opportunity, and God bless you all.